We're constantly being told that the solution to all our problems at work is just another new tool. But what if that's completely the wrong way to think about it? In this explainer, we're going to dive into a pretty powerful alternative, one that suggests what we really need isn't more tools, but something that acts a lot more like an employee.
Okay, so this is the core idea we're digging into today. It's a bold statement, right? Stop buying tools. Instead, find something that can actually own the outcome. See, the focus here totally shifts from the how, the software, to the what, the final result. And, well, that changes everything.
Does this sound familiar to you? You find this shiny new piece of software. It promises to fix everything. You get all excited, you build a whole new workflow around it. And for a little while, things are great. But then, inevitably, you end up right back where you started, putting out the same old fires. It's just an exhausting cycle. So, why does this keep happening? Seriously, why do our best laid plans and our smartest workflows always seem to fall apart? Well, the answer is usually hidden in a few key problems, a few sources of friction that are often hiding in plain sight. Just think about all the software your company uses. Your sales team has its system, marketing's got another one, and finance is off in its own little world. And guess what? None of them really talk to each other. This is tool fragmentation. It creates these little islands of information, and without someone to connect the dots, it's just total chaos. And how do we deal with all that fragmentation? We rely on something called human glue. This is all that invisible, manual work your team is doing just to keep things running. The constant copying and pasting between apps, the manual follow-up emails, the endless double-checking. It's the thankless, soul-crushing work that holds all the broken pieces together. Now, you're probably thinking, well, just automate it, right? But here's the catch. Most automation is incredibly rigid. It's all based on simple if this, then that rules. The second something unexpected happens, a customer fills out a form a little weirdly, an API changes, the whole thing just snaps. It's way too brittle to handle the messiness of the real world. And this brings us to a really crucial point. Okay, we've seen the symptoms. Fragmented tools, this need for human glue, brittle automations. But what's the actual disease? What is the real problem we're trying to solve here? The missing piece, the real root of the problem, is ownership. It's not a technology gap, it's an ownership gap. The core issue is that no one and no thing is truly responsible for the entire process from start to finish. Let's look at it this way. On one side, you've got all your tools and software. On the other side, you've got the thing you actually want, like a happy customer. The problem is that huge crack right down the middle, that's the ownership gap. There's nothing there responsible for bridging that space. So how do we fill that ownership gap? Well, we need to introduce a totally new idea, the AI employee. And let me be clear, this is not just another tool. It's a completely different way of thinking, one designed to provide the one thing we've been missing, autonomous ownership. So what in the world is an AI employee? Think of it like this. It's an autonomous AI agent that you hire for a specific role, like a sales development rep or a project coordinator. Its entire job is to own a business outcome, managing the whole process from beginning to end, all without needing a human to constantly tell it what to do. This is where it really clicks. On the left, you've got your traditional tools. They're passive. They just follow a strict set of rules. If a rule breaks, the whole thing grinds to a halt. But on the right, you have an AI employee. It's autonomous and goal-oriented. You don't give it a script, you give it an objective. And then it figures out how to get there, solving problems as it goes. That's the real game changer. So how does it actually do all this? Well, it's a continuous, intelligent loop. First, it monitors all your different systems, just watching for key events. Second, it interprets that information. It uses context to understand the bigger picture. Third, and this is so crucial, it decides the best way forward to reach its goal. It doesn't just follow a rule. And finally, it executes whatever it needs to do across all your different platforms. It's a complete end-to-end cycle of ownership. Okay, that's the theory. It sounds good, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? How does shifting from a tool-based mindset to an ownership mindset really change things? Let's look at a perfect example, a standard sales follow-up process. Okay, so before, the company was trying to juggle 12 different tools. I'm talking the CRM, email, calendar, Slack, spreadsheets, you name it. And the result was totally predictable. Missed follow-ups, lost leads. After, they brought in a single AI employee to just own that outcome. And the result?
Clean, consistent, reliable execution every single time. And this right here, this is the transformation. You go from a tangled mess of 12 disconnected systems, all held together by sheer manual effort, to a single autonomous agent that just owns the entire workflow. The drop in complexity is just massive. So, at the end of the day, this isn't about adding more technology. It's actually about strategic subtraction. By replacing a dozen tools with one owner, you get way less complexity and far, far better results. It really is that simple. Fewer tools, better outcomes. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own organization, for your most important processes, who truly owns the outcome? If you can't point to a single person or a single system, you might have just found your ownership gap. Thanks for joining this explainer.